Welcome to Pat Stats. This is episode 2 of our Out of the Park baseball series, trying to build a Mets dynasty. In episode 1, we went through the game settings, the manager settings, and we went through our team, looking at what we have to deal with. So if you haven't seen that, I recommend you go and watch that one. But in this episode, we're going to really just start simulating the season. Today is March 14th. So it's opening day is still almost 2 weeks away, a little less, 13 days away. So our priority number 1 is going to be figuring out what our opening day roster is, going through our lineups, our depth, our bench, and our bullpen to figure out what our best starting 26 is. But also, going through our minor leagues, making sure everything's up to date there, and going through the waiver wire, and going through the free agent market, even the trade market, if that has anything in March. So let's just get into it right now. Like I said, priority number 1 is going to be our opening day roster. I think the first thing we should do is get rid of anybody who we know is just not making the team. For example, Chris Williams. I said last week, or yesterday in the last episode, that is not looking like he's going to be our backup catcher. His defense is just not up to par, in my opinion. Even though he's got some offensive upside, I'd say it's not what I really want out of a backup catcher. And he's not even on the 40-man roster yet, so there is no risk in just putting him in the minors and letting him start in AAA. And I think I said the same thing about Luke Ritter. He is probably not going to start the season on our opening day roster. I'd rather someone who can kind of play a little better defense, and his hitting is not exactly in a place where it necessarily needs to be on the roster. So Luke Ritter will start in AAA. Looking at the pitching staff, there is only one guy I think who doesn't really deserve to be here, and that's Max Kranick. Same idea, not even on the 40-man roster yet. No reason at all to have him as our fifth starting pitcher. There's just nothing really here. And I think I said Griffin Canning probably deserves that more than him anyway. So Max Kranick is in Syracuse, and we are going to have it'll probably default Griffin Canning to go to the rotation. Yes, it does. I mentioned last time how it has Reed Garrett as an opener. I'm going to try my best to get rid of that in the game strategy. If I just unclick this, that should do it, unless Carlos Mendoza is stubborn with us. And he is going to be stubborn with us. Just puts Reed Garrett back in as an opener. So what we have to do instead is just force Tyler McGill to be a starting pitcher. The one problem with that is it just moves him up to start opening day. But you know what? Maybe if we do the same thing with Senga, that's not going to make a big deal. Of course, Tyler McGill kind of known for starting opening days for no reason. Kodai Senga. And then it still has Reed Garrett as an opener. How's that even possible? So this is kind of the annoying thing about this game. Sometimes they'll just make decisions for you that you don't want. Like that. It keeps doing it. I mean, if it does it, it is what it is. I think actually if we do this, that might just do it. If you lock it, there's a little button you click. Let's see if that does it. Let's see if I can get rid of that. Did that make Reed Garrett not an opener? It just made Ryan Stanek an opener. Nice. All right. Tyler McGill, lock the team. Do not use as a follower. If that better do it. And it does. Finally, we get Tyler McGill in the rotation. The rotation is Senga, Holmes, Peterson, McGill, Canning. That is what we want. And we will ultimately, I think, just have to come up with one more reliever unless we want to start with Austin Warren in the minors. He has options on the 40-man roster right now. I'd like to see this here, rather. This as this is designated for assignment area. Sort by position. We have Kranick in the minors. We have Brendan Waddell in the minors. And we have Tyler Zuber in the minors. None of those guys, I think, particularly deserve to make the roster. So I guess Austin Warren might just make it. And then if he does bad or he is tired for one day and we need a fresh arm, we can send him down. but we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 relievers, so we'll look for our last one. Right now, I think I'm leaning towards Brazaban. I think either Brazaban or Danny Young, I would say. We'll make that final decision in a couple of days. No reason to do it right now. And the lineup. So I think that's something I wanted to talk about. I don't really like closing myself off to things, but there's a specific way I like to structure my bench. Obviously, you want a backup catcher. I want typically a backup infielder who is sufficient at all three positions: second base, shortstop, and third base. Same thing with outfielders. I want someone who is well above average in all three. And the last one can be like a utility guy, maybe like a platoon guy. And I think we kind of have this spot already here because our DH platoon is going to be Jesse Winker and Starling Marte. This actually doesn't even have Marte right now, currently projected to start against lefties. That's Soto. Marte still has some decent ratings. I don't want to, I guess, right now have a $19 million player not even playing at all. And in real life, that is kind of what the situation was to start the year. And I don't mind having that in this game. So what we're going to do is go to Jesse Winker's game strategy and force him onto the bench against left-handed pitchers. That should do it. Let's see if it does. We'll update lineups with Mendoza's choices. Yeah, and it does put Marte as the DH. So we got that settled. So now all we got to do is figure out who our backup catcher, infielder, and outfielder is. The backup infielder very well just could be Luis Angel Acuna. I think that'd probably be the easiest thing we can do. He is good anywhere. Even 45 is not exactly what I want, but of course we have Lindor short. So if Acuna needs to come in, it'd be in a blowout most likely, unless Lindor gets hurt. Hopefully he does not. We also have Beatty on the bench right now, and I'd almost rather see Beatty maybe start against right-handers at second, which is kind of, again, what happened in real life. Again, Acuna still has a lot of room to grow. It could serve him well to maybe start in a part-time role, if it's not in the minors, which I don't think it will be, considering the injuries we have to Jeff McNeil and I guess Madrigal and Mauricio, but really just McNeil. That'll probably keep Acuna on the roster for now, unless someone is available that would be worthwhile to pick up. So Brett Beatty is going to, or maybe rather than force Brett Beatty to start, we can force Luis Angel Acuna to sit against right-handed pitching, and that should allow Mendoza to put Beatty at second against right-handers and Acuna at second against left-handers. Our backup outfielder is Tyrone Taylor. That's right from last game. For some reason, he is defaulted to start in the minors. That doesn't make any sense. Tyrone Taylor is a major league player. He is our backup outfielder. Great guy to have all around the outfield. So our last player we got to figure out is the backup catcher again. Leaning towards Hayden Sanger, just because of that defense. 55 overall, good arm, good at everything, but might look to acquire someone before the start of the season. So that's that. Other than that, I think we are good to simulate another day and get going. I guess we can check. I don't think anyone's on waivers yet. This is how we check waivers. No one's on waivers right now. Let's go through the free agents, actually. See if there's anyone good. Looks like there are some decent things. Let's sort by batters to start. There's this player right here, Davis Bradshaw. Not too familiar with him. Sometimes this game starts you with a couple of players that are maybe a little bit too good to sign minor league contracts. This guy wants a minor league contract. It's a layup, but I guess I'll do it. Sign their minor league contract. There is no risk in that. Beyond that, I guess Yasmani Grandal is the best available catcher on the market. 36 years old. Don't love that he's $5 million, 5.5 million demand right now. Better against the righties. Maybe if his price comes down, that we can sign him. But again, Alvarez is not out for too long. I don't think we necessarily need to do that. Yeah, we'll see. Eliuris Montero, just the first baseman. I'm not paying $6 million for that. Let's see. Okay, pitchers. Scroll up. This is, I think, the layup that I might actually just not do. This guy is way too good a pitcher to be wanting a minor league deal. I think this is kind of meant to be. I mean, minor league contract with a major league option is what he technically wants. I don't even know who this. It's Jose De Leon. He's had some time, maybe in the past. Yeah, all the way back in 2016, he's made his debut, but I'm not going to sign him. I just this is I think the layup to start the game. I'm not going to take it. I'm going to keep it a little realistic. Here's a guy, another one. I think Ivan Oviedo, very young guy. I'm not exactly sure why he's a free agent. I'm not going to sign him right now. I think we'll check the free agent market in a couple of days to see if there's anyone else still available. I guess maybe the other thing we can check for is if there's any defensive wizards on the free agent market. We can sort by fielding ratings. I like to sort by fielding potential. A shortstop is at least maybe a 55, or their fielding potential at center field is at least 55. Change that to or. Let's see if there's anyone. There are a decent amount. Anthony Alford is someone. 30-year-old guy, good in center field. Maybe we'll keep that in mind. Zion Bannister is a prospect. Some decent power, strikes out a lot. Socrates Brito, that's a real player right there. Not that these are all real players, but that's a major. I think he's had some major league time this year. Not really seeing any infielders. First one I see is this prospect, who is not a good hitter. So that's that. Really are no really good backup infielders on the market right now. You got best is 40 overall, and it's guys like Jermaine Palacios, who can't hit a lick. Jose Peraza, who's only 30 years old. That's even younger than I thought he was. Unless it's a different Jose Peraza. No, but it is the Jose Peraza. He's only 30. Wow, that surprised me actually. But yeah, no guys particularly that I'm excited about. We do need some outfield depth. So maybe I will sign, and then I guess the last one is David Dahl. Decent, interesting one. Left-hand hitting. I would prefer my backup outfielders and infielders to bat righty, only because if they have to play in a pinch, you feel better about a righty facing a righty than a lefty facing a lefty. I think I missed Anthony Alford. He's out of options. Socrates Burrito, out of options. Probably going to sign Anthony Alford, or at least try to sign him to a minor league deal if he wants that. $1.7 million salary if promoted. Does David Dahl want the same thing? He does. Let's see if Anthony Alford will be willing to accept the minor league contract. Oh, he's not willing to. Okay. Yeah, let's just do this right now. If he's not promoted within 30 days, he may opt for free agency, by the way. So, Anthony Alford, we'll see if we can get him. All right, I think it's time to finally move through one day. All right. Let's check our inbox. We actually got something yesterday that I didn't look at. It's our owner goals, which is something that is somewhat important. You want to keep your owner happy by trying to achieve the goals. Steve Cohen has set our goals to be reach the playoffs this season. Very, very realistic. Build a top 6 minor league system. That might be a little hard considering that we're a win now team and we're going to want to make some trades at some point. Again, not really inclined to trade prospects immediately, but still top 6 pretty good. Increased fan interest. I think we'll do that by winning and reach the World Series in 5 seasons. I think we can do that definitely. But those are our owner goals, and you want to keep your owner happy, and you want to keep your boss happy in any job. So that's our owner goals. Yeah, nothing's really going on. The reason why it defaults to start so early is that technically the Dodgers and Cubs start in a couple of days. So that's why. But we don't have to actually have our opening day roster set until opening day, which is the 27th. If you remember from last episode, we offered a pitching coach a contract to be our pitching coach in I believe, the Florida Complex League. Anderson Polanco looks like he is going to be signing with us soon, and he does. So Anderson Polanco is with our organization now in the Florida Complex League. Anthony Alford as well favors our contract. He better accept. I think it's a pretty good contract for him. Like I said, we definitely need some outfield depth. We only have 4 outfielders right now in AAA. A lot more infielders. Let's go to the offseason center. We'll call this the offseason center because it is still technically the offseason. Is there anyone on the trading block right now? There are a few relievers, it looks like. And Seth Lugo is actually on the block. Kitchen sink guy. Again, he is a control freak. Probably outperformed last year with a 3 ERA. But he makes $15 million this year and next year. And in this game, not really someone I'm looking to acquire right now. Hunter Harvey, Derek Laud, TJ McFarland, John Schreiber, Chris Stratton, and Kyle Finnegan. Probably all guys on bad contracts, or at least just expensive contracts for relievers that we don't really need to look at right now. Again, it's March. There aren't going to be good relievers or good players on the trade block. Hitting wise, Darion Blanco, so another Royal. Good defensively, actually, interestingly enough, and has some options. Maybe. I don't know what we have to give up. Again, not really looking to trade anyone right now. Alex Call, another one. Could be a nice little guy to pick up if possible. Kills lefties. But again, there's not really anyone in mind that I really want to particularly trade right now. Just to give you an idea, let's just say I wanted to trade who was the guy? Austin Warren. I don't think this would get it done. Let's just see. You never know. Yeah. So it's going to generate preseason predictions for us to look at. It's kind of always fun to see what the AI at least thinks. So we have some players being promoted to the international complex. Again, I mean, these are teenagers. Not much to look at here. We get our little message from Steve Cohen telling us that good luck this season and the team should reach the playoffs. I agree. David Bradshaw, the guy I guess this is this guy we tried to sign. Looks like he's not going to be signing. Looks like he has a better offer from Seattle. That's okay. It must be a major league contract. Well, it's a minor league contract. Yeah, I guess he just wants to sign with the Mariners. It's okay. Anthony Alford signed. That's good to hear. The Nationals say there's an counter saying if we had Brett Beatty, Christian Scott, or Carson Bench, we can get Alex Call. Yeah, we're not doing that. So let's just clear the offer. It was just to see, just in case we could pull one over on them. We didn't expect that. It gives us a top 10 prospects list. Walter Jenkins of the Twins is the number 1 prospect in all of baseball. Looking like a very good outfielder. Roman Anthony, he's up there as well. Great power and discipline. I'd actually prefer that as opposed to a guy like Walter Jenkins. Max Clark, center fielder, really good hitter. Probably won't start the season with the Tigers, I wouldn't think. Jackson Jobe, best pitching prospect. Yeah, that's really good. Roki Sasaki, yeah, I mean that's to be expected. Absolutely unbelievable stuff. His control is even good. I mean, it's Roki Sasaki, one of the better international signings of recent memory. Dylan Cruz, very balanced hitter, corner outfielder for sure though. Could fake it in center field, but good guy right there. Thomas White of the Marlins, another guy with good stuff. Good, nice lefty starting pitcher they got there. Sebastian Walcott, the Rangers. Unbelievable power. 85 potential, already at 50. He's only in AA. Ethan Salas of the Padres, that young catcher, really good defensively, lefty hitting. He's got all the tools. He's still young, though. And finally, Rhett Lauder, starting pitcher in the Reds organization. Actually made his Major League debut last year. Definitely good pitchers. That's the top 10. I just wanted to go through that. Again, not really the Mets. No Mets, unfortunately, but yeah. Yep, the Cubs and Dodgers are playing today. We don't have to set our roster yet. Our 40-man roster is currently at 35, and that includes the players who are on the 60-day IL: Manaea, Montas, Scott, Smith, and Madrigal. So we don't have too much room to work with. It's probably going to get filled up at some point very, very soon. Let's check the waiver wire quickly. We got a couple guys on waivers, a couple backup catchers, so I guess we can look at them. Eric Haas, if we want defense, that's not much better than what we already have. Austin Wins, same thing. But at least we got to see a couple players who are currently on the waiver wire. Let's continue through spring training. You can see I have the standings right here, our next game, our schedule, and injuries. There's a lot you can put on the home screen, but these are the things that I like to look at most often. Mailbox, Davis Bradshaw signed with the Marlins. We have a scouting report. We get these scouting reports periodically about just really end up being non-prospects. I mean, 1 in a million if you get a good one. Not 1 in a million, but I mean, it's rare. March 21st. Nothing's really happening. I guess we'll go to the waiver wire just to see if there's anyone interesting on there. Matt Theis. I don't think it's going to be a good defensive catcher. Nope. He's a first baseman at the end of the day. March 22nd, no one's on waivers. March 23rd, no one's on waivers. I'm going to check free agent market one more time for possible backup infielders who have at least a 55 overall at shortstop. Jermaine Palacios, not really a guy I want. Jose Rondon, no. These guys are going to be out of options as well. So I'm going to probably say Luis Angel Acuna will stick as our backup infielder. He can platoon with Beatty to start. Acuna can fill in at shortstop in a blowout, or even how's Acuna does not currently have a rating at third base, even though he definitely could play there. We have Vientos and Beatty, though, in case Vientos needs a day. It's Vientos, only 45. Probably a DH or a first baseman long term, but this year, probably going to see some time at third. Again, still going to wait it out on our last reliever slot. Let's go through the free agent relievers, free agent pitchers, I guess, overall. And anyone good remaining? This Jose De Leon guy is still here. I mean, it's painful that I've told myself I'm not going to sign him. I don't know. A 50 overall starting pitcher should not expect a minor league deal. I just think that's supposed to help you out, and I'm not going to take that. Let's see if there's anyone with some good stuff on the market right now. Stuff of at least 55. Looks like all relievers. Ken Giles, former Astro reliever, fastball and slider. These are all 40 overalls. Alex Jacob is a young pitcher. Not exactly sure why his stuff is so good. They're all 45 overalls. That's a little interesting right there. Darian Nunez. I like those three pitchers. No control, though. Lefty, 32 years old. Barely played in the majors. 7 innings for Dodgers in 2021. There you go. This guy, Evan Reifert, I think once again, control is the issue. I mean, we're not going to find anyone particularly good, I don't think, here. Brett Shaluzzi, they get no control, but a great curveball. Has options. Maybe we can try something in the minor league deal. And then this guy right here, Michael Streifeller. I believe he was. I don't know why he feels like an angel. Maybe he hasn't ever made his major league debut, but maybe I'll try to sign Brett Shaluzzi to a minor league deal. Or not Shaluzzi, the other guy, Evan Reifert. He's not going to make an opening day roster, but we'll try to offer him a minor league contract, see what happens. All right, so let's continue. Simulate to March 24th. We are nearing the start of the season. Sometimes, like on opening day, there will be a lot of players who get placed on waivers, make roster cuts, and get down to that 26 number. We have a message in our mailbox. Evan Reifert wants to sign with the Nationals. Again, I'm not going to go crazy over that. All right, one day before opening day, anyone on waivers? Any new players in the free agent market? I don't believe so. Let's just clear that filter out. Waivers, nobody. All right, so I mentioned before the preseason predictions. I like to look at those sometimes, see where they got us. It goes Yankees, Red Sox, Blue Jays, Rays, Orioles only at 500. Does it know? Does it know they're about to be 15 and 32? I don't know. Twins, Guardians, Royals, Tigers, White Sox. That is pretty realistic, I would say, for the opening day. Tigers, of course, actually have the best record right now. Rangers, Mariners, Astros, A's, Angels. Yep, I think that was actually my prediction. Actually, I had the A's ahead of the Astros. We'll see about that. We're projected only an 82 and 80 team. Wow. Okay, so we'll see about that. Braves projected to be first place by a wide margin. And to finish it out, Reds, Cubs, Pirates, Brewers, Cardinals. So Brewers are not liked by this version of Out of the Park baseball. And wow, Padres are 73. I was low on the Padres, lower than most, but not to be worse than the Rockies. And the Rockies are not even touching 75 wins this year. All right. Those are the preseason predictions. Doesn't mean anything. We are hopefully going to outperform our 82-win projection as the season starts. So let's promote Hayden Sanger. Congratulations. You have won the job of backup catcher to start. As has our last reliever in the ball. Actually, we still got to decide. Do we want Brazaban or do we want Danny Young? Let's take one last look at the ratings. Brazaban a 45 overall with 5 nice pitches. He has options. Danny Young does not. And I think that is what's going to ultimately push Brazaban over the edge. I'd rather not start with a guy who has no options. So Brazaban, welcome to the team. All right. So let's just update our staff. And our lineup should be good to go with Hayden Sanger as our backup. And let's simulate some games now. Again, I'm not going to be playing the games. We're just going to simulate the day and see what happens. Opening day, the suspense is killing me here. As we wait for the game to process, we lose 2-1. So in real life, we lose 3-1. Today, we lose 2-1. Our only run was a Vientos solo shot. 7 2/3 with allowing 2 runs. Hunter Brown shut us down, though, for the most part. 6 2/3, only 1 run, 9 strikeouts. Yeah. 0-4 this Mets debut. This is the lineup, by the way, it shows. Nimmo, Vientos, Soto, Lindor, Alonso, Winker, Beatty, Siri, Torrens. Am I going to be changing the lineup? No. Is that exactly what I would have had? Probably not. but it's a reasonable lineup, I would say. So we lose 2-1 to the Astros. Are there more players on waivers? No. So I was just wrong about that. That's okay. Any new free agents stick out? Not particularly. So we continue on. Usually just default to the pitching staff to see who is fresh and ready to go. Obviously, one game in, everyone's fresh. Even a little longer than I would have wanted. We win 6-0, but Clay Holmes unfortunately has suffered a day-to-day injury of elbow tightness. It's not he doesn't necessarily have to go on the injured list, but I might make him just to avoid any further injury risk. We win 6-0. The key play is Alonso, a 2-run single in the first inning, starring Marte a RBI double, and Soto an RBI single in the fifth against Framber Valdez. Play of the game goes to Alonso. Clay Holmes only ended up pitching 2 1/3 innings. He was taking out Cabrera, 3 2/3, scoreless, followed by another 2 from Warren and 1 from Brosban. So we got our first win of the year in shutout form. Unfortunately, though, we might have to put Clay Holmes on the injured list. Who would we call up to replace him is a good question. I guess given that Max Kranick is on the 40-man, that will be the guy who comes up in the meanwhile. So Clay Holmes goes to the injured list, and we bring up Max Kranick. In this game, I don't believe it has the rule that players' option have to stay in the minors for 15 days, or at least pitchers' option have to stay in there for 15 days. But since it's an injury, I don't mind bringing him up because you would be allowed to do that in real life. If there's an injury, you can bring him up at any point. So Max Kranick, you're back. All right, so we got actually, when there's an injury, it doesn't actually simulate the rest of the day. Allows you to make a move immediately. Evan Reifert signed with Tampa Bay. We tried to get him. And the rubber match against the Astros. Let's see. We got David Peterson on the mound. I'll try to fix this slow save here. The games we lose 3-1. Jared Young is eligible to come off the IL. We will just send him to the minors. No rehab assignment needed. What happened in this game? Luis Torrentes solo home run against Jake Diekman for our only run. The Astros took the lead in the eighth. A walk against Jose Butto. 2 bases loaded walks against Jose. Oh no, the walks set up a Jake Myers run scoring single against Daniel Nunez. Pearson had a good start, 5 2/3. Butto got touched up a bit. Nunez cleaned it up, but we lose our first series of the year, 2-1 against the Houston Astros. Probably do one more series for this episode, and then we'll probably do a big one for the next one. The Marlins, we're going to Miami next. Hopefully we can get on track then. Yep. All right. So we got Tyler Miguel on the mound. Going up against Dax Fox over here. Every first of the month, it comes out with a player development update, basically telling us any changes in player ratings that have occurred over the last month. We're going to go through those and definitely make sure, just at least to see what's going on in both on our active roster and in the minor leagues. It gives us both. So as we wait to get this. Looks like there's no update. That makes sense. It's only the first month. Everything should be up to date. We lost 10-8, so our pitching staff really got roughed up. Top player, Acuna, a 2-run single in the fifth. Griffin Conine, a 3-run homer in the fifth. Luis Torrens tried to make it a ball game in the eighth. We scored 5 in the eighth. Oh, it was a walk-off, so he did make it a ball game. So yeah, grand slam. Derek Hill, a walk-off 2-run homer against Daniel Nunez. Uh, Player of the game was Kyle Stowers for the Marlins. None of our pitchers particularly did well. McGill got roughed up for 5 runs in 4 innings. Cabrera got touched up. Stanek a run in inning and 2/3, and Nunez, of course, allowed that walk-off home run. So, yeah. No one is, only Cabrera is really down. We got arms ready to go for today's game. Max Kranick against Max Meyer, so a max off. Let's see what happens. We lose 3-1, so our offense is stymied for the second time in 3 games. Our only run, that's not it. Brent Belt for the Marlins, a run scoring triple against Kranick. Conan a single. Lindor to home run for our only run. Play of the game goes to Max Meyer, who shut us down for 6 1/3 innings. Kranick did pitch decently well for just coming up and be facing Clay Holmes for a bit. Rajaban 2 scoreless and Reed Gary a scoreless inning. In the lineup, I guess the only guy particularly did well was Lindor with 2 hits. All right, we try to salvage the final game of this series. Kodai Senga against Sandy Alcantara. What does Sandy Alcantara's ratings look like? It's pretty good. Nothing. He actually never really had great ratings in this game. Maybe that was right of this game all the way back in the past, I remember. But yeah, Kodai Senga hopefully trying to stop the bleeding. We are not off to a great start. And we lose. So not a good start to the season. Only 1-5. We lose 2 straight series to the Astros and Marlins. Senga pitched 7 innings, allowed 3 runs though. Nunez got touched up again. 2 runs in an inning. Let's see, our only run, a Luis Torrens ground out, I guess. No, Winker had the RBI, so maybe it was like a sac fly or something. Not a great start to the season, but hopefully when we return home for our home opener, things start to go our way. Ron Mauricio is eligible to come back. He is going to go on a lengthy rehab assignment, as he has in real life. I guess it's only 20 days, so maybe in this game, Mauricio will recover faster, but he'll probably actually end up going to AAA. He has options. He has an option. So that's going to do it for this episode. Unfortunate start to the season, but we will certainly bounce back. I have no concerns. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please like and comment, as well as subscribe to the channel. We will see you next time.